Today I would like to discuss about the selection of parameters of a RGP trial contact lens. So there are many RGP trial contact lens are available in the market, but according to the parameters of contact lens like diameter, curvature, which one contact lens is the best fit for my patient is depend on the three parameters of the contact lens, and that three parameters of the contact lens selection is need to be assessed or need to be evaluated on a individual patient basis. So what are these three parameters? So the first parameter is the base curve of the contact lens. The second parameter is the total diameter, and the third parameter is the optic zone diameter. So today we are discussing only about the RGP, rigid gas permeable contact lenses. How to select the base curve of a RGP contact lens. So the base curve of a RGP contact lens is the flattest keratometry value. Flattest keratometry. So base curve of the contact lens is the flattest K value. Okay, so what does this K value mean? So K value means the keratometric value, and how to perform keratometry in brief, it is that after asking the patient to keep the chin on the chin rest and ask to look him or her at the own image of her eye at the in the keratometer, and after focusing from the examiner side, you will find this type of interface in this keratometer, and after focusing you can see these three Myers, and by rotating this horizontal and vertical drum present in the keratometer, you need to align these two minus sign and these two plus sign. So when these are superimposed or aligned, your keratometry procedures will be completed, and then you need to just note down the horizontal meridian value and the vertical meridian value in millimeter. Okay, so let's suppose you find the horizontal value of k1 value is 8.3 millimeter. Okay, and you find the vertical value or the k2 value is 8.0 millimeter. So now you need to choose the base curve. So according to the rule, base curve is the flattest keratometric value or flattest k value. So among them, this 8.3 millimeter, it is the flattest meridian. So the contact lens, we need to choose the base curve. The base curve of the contact lens is also 8.3 millimeter. So always remember, in the keratometric value, this numerical value increase means the base curve will be flattest. Okay, so and the numerical value decrease, the base curve is the steepest. Now the second thing is the total diameter. So the total diameter of a contact lens is, especially for the RGP contact lens, it is total diameter equals to HVID minus 2 millimeter. Now what this HVID means? So HVID, it stands for horizontal visible iris diameter. Horizontal visible iris diameter. So we need to measure the iris diameter by the manual scale in the plastic transparent scale, where we need to put the zero marking on this transparent scale on the one side of this iris, and then we need to measure the horizontal visible iris diameter to select the total diameter. So let's suppose if the horizontal visible iris diameter of a patient HVID is let's suppose 12 millimeter. So for that patient, the total diameter of the contact lens should be 12 minus 2, it is 10 millimeter. Okay, so it is just a diagrammatic representation. How do you measure this HBID? So this is the upper eyelid and this is the iris. Okay, and in between this is the pupil. So by placing a transparent scale, you need to measure the HBID like this way. Now the third parameters is the optic zone diameter. So optic zone diameter is always 1 millimeter larger than scotopic pupil diameter. So 1 millimeter larger than the scotopic pupil diameter. Now what this scotopic pupil means? So the normal pupil diameter is about 3 to 4 mm, but this pupil diameter can be measured into three conditions. So one is the photopic, one is the mesopic, and one is the scotopic pupillary diameter. So scotopic illumination, so these are the three condition of illumination. One is photopic, mesopic, and scotopic. So when anyone is showing a direct light into the pupil is very much constricted, so that is the photopic pupillary diameter. So in the photopic condition, the pupillary diameter is about 1 to 2 mm. The mesopic illumination is the normal illumination condition. So mesopic means the normal pupillary diameter, and the scotopic means in the dim light or in the dark condition, the maximum largest size, maximum possible pupillary diameter, largest pupillary diameter is about, it is 6 to 8 millimeter. Okay, so we need to measure the scotopic pupillary diameter of the patient. Firstly, we sit the patient in a dimly illuminated room, and then we put a pen torch source of light at the back of the patient, so that there is no direct light into the patient's pupil, so there is no more pupillary constriction. We need to measure, we need to put on the light just as our reference to measure. Okay, so the scotopic pupillary diameter. So for an example, suppose for a patient the scotopic pupil diameter is 6 millimeters. So the optic zone diameter of the contact lens for that patient is 6 plus 1 is equals to 7 millimeter. Okay, now let's understand why this scotopic pupil diameter is important to measure. We can measure the mesopic pupil diameter, we can measure the photopic pupil diameter, but why scotopic? Why scotopic, isn't it? This scotopic pupil diameter is important because it is the largest possible diameter. Okay, and one more thing is that if we measure the photopic pupil or mesopic pupillary diameter and choose the contact lens optic zone diameter according to that, what can be the problem? The problem is that this might create glare at night. So initially our pupil diameter will be this, and we will select the optic zone diameter according to this. Now when at night the pupil will dilate, but the contact lens will not dilate. So this portion, when an incoming light of an automobile is coming from the opposite side, this edge of this contact lens create glare or the visual disturbance. So we always need to measure the scotopic pupil diameter, and according to that we need to select the optic zone diameter of a RGP trial contact lens. So these are the three parameters, okay, we need to assess. So this is all about the selection of parameters of RGP trial contact lens.